Today, we're going to be putting Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes in the same draft class to decide who is the best quarterback of all time. And going number 1 would be Tom Brady to the Jets, and right after him would be Patrick Mahomes being drafted by the Vikings at number 2. There's a lot of hype around their futures right now, so without further ado, let their rookie seasons begin.
Return to the Mac, get up what it is, what it does, what it is, what it isn't. Looking for a better way to get up out of bed instead of getting on the internet and checking a new hit. Me get up, first shot, come strut walking, a little bit of humble, a little bit of cautious, somewhere between like rock.
And as you just saw, they would be having a fantastic rookie year for themselves, but would both be missing the postseason. So now we're heading into season 2, looking for some development from one of these guys at least. And it would be a productive season for both QBs, but it'd be very clear that Mahomes right away is getting off to the early start and looking like the better player overall, meaning that he may be able to win this challenge outright. But still, both teams are missing the playoffs, but that would only be the case for this season, as one of these teams is going to be making the postseason next year, which would just happen to be Patrick Mahomes making it in. And this now becomes a very important season for Mahomes, as both him and Tom Brady are racing to see who will win 3 Super Bowls first, and the first one to do so will be crowned the greatest QB of all time. And he's making it in as the 1 seed, which very much looks like he's going to be one of the favorites to win out the whole entire Super Bowl, which would be giving him a very early lead over Tom Brady. But we can't jump to conclusions right away. Mahomes is still technically very young and has no playoff experience whatsoever, and going into the divisional round, he would be having to face off against the Cardinals. And while this Cardinals team hasn't been great over the last few seasons, Jeremiah Smith's looking to change that whole entire narrative this game by hopefully taking down Mahomes. And while Jeremiah Smith is going to cause problems against this Vikings team, there would be a whole nother sequence of events taking place that would ultimately lose the game for the Cardinals. Hard now, looks like he's gonna throw it. Don't know why he's doing that. He fumbled the ball. What the heck? What are we doing? What are we actually doing? Why did the Cardinals do that, bro? Well, I guess Mahomes is going to the AFC Championship game. That's insane. I don't know why the Cardinals just did that. So Mahomes is making it to the NFC Championship game in just year 3, where he would have to now be facing up against the elite Rams team with Myles Garrett now leading this elite defense for them. But ultimately in this one, the Rams playoff experience would be sending Mahomes home in the NFC Championship game after a very solid year 3 from him, and giving him a very early lead over Brady. Not technically in the Super Bowl row, but at least looking like he's getting very close to it. But for everybody rooting for Brady, come season 4, Brady would finally be making his jump all the way into the postseason and overall having a better season for Mahomes for the first time in their young careers. And with both of them now in the postseason, there is a very real chance we will be seeing the matchup against each other in the Super Bowl, but we can't jump ahead too far quite yet. And this possibility now seems even more endless, as Brady is going to be having an amazing first postseason run as he's making it all the way to the AFC Championship game after taking down the Raiders and the Ravens. And Mahomes would also be matching that same energy from Brady, making it all the way to the NFC Championship game just to face off against the Lions team with this elite offense that they have built around them. The Lions offense could easily be causing problems against this Vikings defense, but one thing's for sure, this Lions defense isn't necessarily the greatest thing to talk about right now, and Mahomes would easily be showing why that is. Because while both these teams are division rivals and know each other pretty well, this Lions defense would never have an answer for Mahomes, and he would be advancing to his first Super Bowl after taking down the Lions. But now Brady has to take down his opponent, which is going to be Cam Ward and the Titans, who are now this young Titans team that are really trying to make a big playoff push for the first time. And while both these teams would be in a very similar position trying to make a big playoff push with their new QBs, Brady would ultimately be having the better hand than Cam Ward and making it all the way to the Super Bowl to face off against Mahomes for one of the biggest matchups yet. And with Mahomes and Brady racing to see who will win the first 3 Super Bowls between each other, this game is going to have a lot at stake right now. And so with that being said, Mahomes and Brady will be showing why they're the best QBs in the league right now, as they're going to be keeping it close this whole entire game against each other, with it being tied going into the 4th quarter now. And as we started approaching the end of the 4th quarter, this game would still be tied up, and it would officially be showing that we're going to be seeing who is the more clutch QB to start off their career, Mahomes or Brady. All right, here comes Mahomes in the Super Bowl here. A drive to potentially get his team the lead here, and Jordan James gets stuffed right away by the Jets D-line. So far, the biggest drive of Mahomes' career so far on the Vikings here. They do have all 3 timeouts, including the Jets as well. Mahomes throws it down middle of the field to Jefferson. He grabs a first down there. and the Jets defense is allowing big yards right away. Obviously, Mahomes only getting a field goal here could be good for him, but you're going against a guy like Brady, you might want a little more of a lead than that. Vikings hurry up to the line after their first play after the 2-minute warning here. 1st and 10 now for Mahomes. He's gonna get pressured, sacked, and he fumbles it on the ground. The Vikings do recover it though. A very scary moment there for the Vikings offense, as their season could have easily been over there. Mahomes now has to play with a long 3rd down conversion here. Hopefully they can convert it here, or else Brady is going to be getting the ball. He throws an interception at the 40. Jamie Sherwood has it for the Jets, and he goes down at the 29. Mahomes with the biggest mistake in the Super Bowl he could have made there. Brady now has the ball at the 29-yard line in field goal range. All they got to do is run this ball out. He's going to pass it instead down to his receiver there. That's going to be, I believe, to carry him more for him. All right, Brady now on 2nd and 3 here. Can he get the play to get the Jets a 1st down here? And it's going to be incomplete down to the carry him more. He's actually number 7, not number 1. The Vikings don't even have to use a timeout there because for whatever reason, the Jets are passing. Shout out to the Madden sim for being really intelligent for those choices here. Brady throws it towards the end zone. Going to be swatted down. Multiple Vikings players there. Not even sure why he would throw that. Now it's a quick 4th down for them. Field goal here to take the lead for Tom Brady. The Jets do still have 3 timeouts going in on defense. The kick is up and that's going to go through. Mahomes needs to either match that or take the lead himself. Vikings do have 2 timeouts here. They're going to have to use them wisely though, with them not having exactly 3. Mahomes takes a deep shot to the sidelines to Jefferson. Incomplete there. 3rd and 8 coming up very quick for them. Obviously playing with 4 down territory here, so this isn't the end of the world for them. Mahomes gets hit as he throws. That's going to be incomplete. Pressure there by David Bailey, and now it's 4th down. Here we go. Biggest 4th down of the game here. Mahomes doesn't convert this. This game is pretty much over, and Brady's going to be winning his first championship. Mahomes to the sidelines. That is going to be incomplete as well. The Jets defense gets to stop, and Tom Brady, without anything dumb happening, is taking the early lead over Mahomes and winning the first championship. So the costly interception by Mahomes on his potential game-winning drive is going to be ending his season and giving Brady the first Super Bowl out of 3 for him to win this challenge. And now all of a sudden the big lead Mahomes had progress-wise over Brady is immediately vanished, and now he's falling behind in this challenge. And who knows, maybe later on Mahomes will be getting a chance to get revenge on Tom Brady on the biggest stage once again. So now heading into year 5 for both these quarterbacks, clearly Brady's trying to continue his momentum that he has from his Super Bowl win, and Mahomes is looking to bounce back after a very tough loss. And while it would be this season that Brady would look like the better overall quarterback with better yardage and touchdowns than Mahomes, you can never judge a book by its cover, because it's going to be Tom Brady missing out on the postseason after winning the Super Bowl, and Mahomes is now getting a chance to potentially tie this up with the postseason run of himself. But ultimately, this playoff run would result in even more bad news for Mahomes, as he's going to be getting eliminated by his division rival, the Packers and Jordan Love, and he's being sent home in the wild card right away. It's pretty fair to say that this is a pretty disappointing season for both of these QBs here, as they both were just in the Super Bowl last season and are either missing the postseason this year or losing in the wild card for the other one. Particularly for Mahomes, he needs to have a better bounce back season next year and potentially make a big postseason run for himself, or else things could be looking very dicey for himself. But unfortunately for Mahomes, he's going to be missing out on the postseason next season, while Tom Brady's going to be making it himself, and now could be looking forward to making a 2-0 lead over Mahomes in this challenge. And with Brady having this very bright opportunity, he would be showing up in the playoffs in a very strong way, taking down Cam Ward in the wild card, and then taking down Dante Moore in the Miami Dolphins in the divisional round to make it to the AFC Championship game once again. But now Brady has to face a team that he's very familiar with, in the Denver Broncos, who are now no longer with Bo Nix at QB. This is now probably the hardest team Brady's had to face in the AFC playoff picture, at least, as the Denver Broncos defense is still one of the best defenses in the whole entire NFL. But Tom Brady is still one of the best QBs in the league, so an elite defense might not slow him down enough to make it to the Super Bowl, but the Broncos offense just might be able to do enough to take them down. So with that being said, Tom Brady has a lot on his plate to take care of here to get into the Super Bowl, and this Broncos defense isn't going to make that any easier. And it would be very clear right away that the Broncos defense would be having their way this game, limiting Tom Brady to only 21 points throughout all 4 quarters of this game. And even worse for him, this Broncos offense with Bo Nix would be dropping a solid 48 points on this Jets defense, sending Tom Brady home in the AFC Championship game in a very big what-if game for him. There's definitely a chance we could be looking back on this game at the end of the challenge and asking ourselves, if Tom Brady would have won this game, what would have happened later on in the challenge? And while yes, he is the best player in the NFL right now as he won the NFL MVP award this season, Mahomes still has a very good chance to catch up with him and potentially overtake him for that award as well. But now we jump into year 7 for both Mahomes and Brady, and this would be the first time that they're both playing at a very elite level at the same time, and they're both going to be making it into the postseason together as well. And with Brady and Mahomes playing at the all-pro levels that they have been so far this season, they're going to be leading their teams all the way into the conference championship weekend, with Brady having to go off against the Texans and Mahomes having to face off against the Seahawks. And Brady yet again is going to have to prove that he can take down some elite defenses in the playoffs, with a team like the Texans not being shy of that whatsoever. So Brady has a very grueling task to get over if he wants to win his second Super Bowl potentially, and with this defense being as good as it is, it would definitely be showing in this game, as Brady wouldn't be putting up all kinds of points on offense really. But there is some good news for Brady in this one. The Jets defense has only held the Texans down to 19 points, but with Brady only putting up 13 points of his own, it's definitely not looking great for him so far. And as this game would still be coming to an end, Brady would be down 6 points with the ball in his hands and only getting one more shot to potentially win this game for the team. 20 seconds to go now. If they don't convert this first down here, this is game over for the Jets. And he throws an interception as he tries to get it to his receiver there. Brady with the turnover there, and the Texans are moving on to the Super Bowl with this elite defense. And so yet again, another elite defense is taking down Tom Brady, showing that he's been very much struggling against those types of teams over the last 2 seasons, and it definitely could hurt him in this challenge overall. But now it's time to see if Mahomes is going to be advancing to the Super Bowl, and the good news for Vikings fans is that he's going to be doing just that, taking down the Emerald City Route Artists and the Seattle Seahawks to advance to the big game to face off against the Texans. And with Mahomes not having to face Brady in the big game, this could be a very crucial first Super Bowl win for him to potentially get him back into the challenge against Brady. But obviously this Texans team is pretty good. They took down an all-time great like Tom Brady, so who knows what they could even do to a guy like Patrick Mahomes. So clearly there's going to be a lot of pressure here on both teams. But right off the bat, Mahomes is keeping the pressure under control throughout all 4 quarters in this game, and the Texans really wouldn't be affecting him all that much on offense. But the same would be said for CJ Stroud on the other side, as he's going to be matching what the Vikings keep doing on offense through all 4 quarters as well. And this would be a tied game at the end of the 4th quarter, which means we're officially going into overtime for one of the biggest games yet. And now in just a few minutes, we're going to be seeing if Mahomes is going to be able to tie up this challenge with Brady, or if he's going to be falling short once again. Here we go. Stroud now hands it off again. His running back gets stuffed right away though, and it's 3rd and 5, and quickly looking like this drive could be over for the Texans if they don't convert. Vikings defense needs to get a stop here to give Mahomes the ball back here. Stroud now is getting pressured, has to throw it off to his running back there. Can't make the other guy miss, and it's going to be 4th and 2, and Mahomes is getting the ball back once again. And with this punt right here, Mahomes should be getting the ball back in pretty tough field position. They're faking the punt. They faked the punt. Oh my God. I was wondering what was happening. These dudes just faked a punt in the Super Bowl. I don't know what the Texans are doing. They might have just lost the game off that. Here we go now. 2nd and 6 for Mahomes. Another handoff, this time to the fullback. He's going to grab the first down a lot more. Down at the 26 he goes. And the Vikings are now set up in prime position to win this one. Mahomes, another handoff, this time to Jordan James. Jordan James makes the guy miss. Goes down across the 10. They're down at the 8. And this Vikings offense is using the momentum to potentially win this game for themselves. Here we go now. The kick that Mahomes potentially set up here. This has to be a cheap shot easily for the kicker. The kick is up, and that is going to go through. The Vikings have won their first Super Bowl with Mahomes. And Mahomes officially ties up this race 1-1 against Brady. And now all of a sudden, with that first Super Bowl win, Mahomes has officially tied it up with Tom Brady for this challenge, and all of a sudden it's very unclear who's going to be coming out on top at the end of it. But right now, Mahomes clearly has the advantage with the momentum of a Super Bowl win going into season 8, but there would be one very crucial thing happening before the season starts for both quarterbacks. Both Justin Jefferson and Garrett Wilson have officially decided to retire, making a very big impact on these next coming years for both quarterbacks officially, with them no longer having their main wide receiver ones, meaning someone is going to have to step up here soon. And that could be causing some very big problems for one of these QBs going into year 8, with it being a very important year, because if someone in this challenge goes up 2-1, they're pretty much almost going to be wrapping this thing up with just one more Super Bowl win and really having that big advantage this season. So one thing's very certain, season 8 could easily be the most important season in this challenge right now, but that's all going to come down to what the end result of it is. But there would be one thing not changing this year, with both Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes playing at all-pro levels once again, showing why they are the best QBs in the NFL at this very moment and have one of the best rivalries, as well as they're both making it into the postseason yet again. And in the postseason, both QBs would be showing why they're playoff risers for their respective teams, making it all the way to the NFC and AFC championship games. And in the NFC Championship game, it would be Caleb Williams versus Patrick Mahomes for a very interesting matchup between two QBs who in this universe have grown in the league together. And while at this point he's debatably the best QB in Bears history, he still hasn't won them a Super Bowl quite yet, so winning this game here could be very crucial for his legacy. But it would be very clear in this game that Patrick Mahomes and the Vikings would be having bigger fish to fry here in the future and would be melting the Iceman away in this game and sending themselves back to the Super Bowl once again. And very similar on the AFC side, Tom Brady would be taking down Fernando Mendoza and the Raiders in the AFC Championship game to make it to the Super Bowl to face off with a rematch against Mahomes. And this now officially sets the stage for potentially the biggest game in the whole entire challenge between these two, with one of them being able to take a 2-1 lead over the other and having a very big advantage after this. And with both QBs having a lot at stake here in this game, you would be expecting a very big performance from at least one of them to have the advantage over the other. But this game would be very far from that, with the whole entire game having the total score going into the fourth quarter of 13 points and the Vikings being up 7-6. This offensive performance by both teams would be very disappointing. And so while the Vikings do hold the lead right now, only having a 1-point lead against a guy like Tom Brady isn't going to really cut it and doesn't decide the clear winner right away. But the same thing could be also said about Mahomes as well, which is why the last 3 minutes of this fourth quarter are going to ultimately be the biggest parts of this game right now. It's a big third down coming up for the Vikings here. Tom Brady's defense needs to get a stop here. They're only down 1 point to Mahomes' offense. Mahomes going for the deep shot out to his receiver. He's open. He's going to walk in for a touchdown there. What a blunder by the defense there. And that's going to be Khalil Lockett scoring the touchdown for the Vikings. And the Jets, who looked like they were just in this game, are kind of now starting to stretch away from that play. Here we go for Tom Brady now. Obviously, it is still an 8-point game. They're not officially out of this game quite yet. Honestly, scoring a touchdown there could have been the mistake this Vikings team just made, but their defense comes in clutch. They're forcing an incompletion. 2nd and 10 now for Brady. He's got to use some of his clutch powers that he used to have in New England, now in New York, which is crazy to say. Jets are at the 30-yard line, need to get way closer for scoring position. That's a great start there. Getting across the 45 there, being Bush grabbing the catch there. Brady now on the play action, gets hit right away by the Vikings edge rusher, and he's going to get sacked in the backfield, making it 2nd and 17. Less than a minute 29 to go. He needs to get some sort of pass going here. Moore on the sidelines, catches it. Looks like it's going to be incomplete, actually, as he steps out of bounds. 3rd and long coming up now. Obviously playing with the 4-down territory here. Jets still do have 2 timeouts. He takes a shot down to the 1st down line. It's going to be incomplete there, trying to hit Moore again. And a big 4th down is coming up here for the game, potentially. It's going to be a very crazy conversion if Brady somehow converts this here. Brady now has time in the pocket, throws out for his tight end. He's going to fall short there, and that is going to potentially do it. The Vikings defense gets the stop that they need, and Mahomes could be winning his 2nd Super Bowl and taking a very big lead over Brady in their 3 rings challenge. And now all of a sudden the tables have officially turned. Mahomes takes the 2-1 challenge lead over Tom Brady officially, and all of a sudden we're looking at Tom Brady as the underdog in this story. But if there's anything we know about Tom Brady and comebacks in his career, it's definitely, to say the least, something that he does not struggle at whatsoever. And there's really just a chance that he might be able to dig himself out of this hole and still win this whole entire thing. And we're going to be getting an answer to that question come season 9, with both of these QBs playing at an all-pro level once again. They're going to be meeting up in the Super Bowl for a rematch in back-to-back seasons, and this could be a very important game for Mahomes if he could wrap up the challenge here, but Brady needs a win to at least stay in it. And this is now officially the biggest game here. Mahomes wins this one, he immediately wraps up the challenge and crowns himself the greatest QB of all time. But if Tom Brady does the impossible and wins this one, we're all of a sudden watching sudden death between these two winning their next Super Bowl. And with the lights officially at their brightest here, both Mahomes and Tom Brady will be going at this one the whole entire time, with the fight of their life on the line here in this one. And this would easily be a very intense game throughout all 4 quarters as we got towards the end of the 4th, with it being a tied game at 17-17, and all of a sudden we're really looking at a very thrilling ending potentially. But within the last 3 minutes of the 4th quarter, both of these teams will be kicking field goals to keep this game tied up as we end regulation with a tied game, meaning we're officially going into overtime between these two in the Super Bowl. Now officially in overtime here, Brady and the Jets are already driving past the 50. Brooks on another handoff makes a guy miss and gets 9 yards there. Brooks having the game of his life right now, saving this Jets offense. Brady with another handoff to Brooks. Brooks wide open down the middle, has a running lane, and is gonna take the score there for the Jets. They take the lead in overtime, and Mahomes has to answer back with a touchdown though. Or touchdown. I don't know why I said that. Anyways, has to answer back with a touchdown. Here comes Mahomes now, 1st and 10. Right away in overtime, chucks it down to his receiver there. He's gonna get a few yards there. Mahomes on 2nd and 5 now. Checks it down to his running back. He's gonna get a few yards there, and Jordan James grabs a 1st down. Mahomes now checks it down to his, not check down, good lord. Hartley grabs it over the middle, grabs a 1st down there. Down at the 41 now, and this Vikings offense continues to keep moving. Mahomes, very big play now. Mahomes checks it down to the middle there, tries to find Addison. That's going to be incomplete. Brady has to hope that this Jets defense can hang on here. Throws it out to his tight end now. His tight end breaks the tackle there, grabs a 1st down, and that's going to be a new set of downs, and they're down at the 28 officially. Seems like both offenses are clearly moving perfectly against these defenses, and they just clearly have no answer for each other right now. Mahomes gets away from the pressure there, is going to scramble and grab 7 yards there. Thought that play was going to get blown up. Way to get 7 yards there, though, by him. 2nd and 3 now. Quick pass out, and it's going to be incomplete there. Clearly, no one was ready for that whatsoever. A big 3rd and 3 coming up now. Obviously, they're going to be playing 4-down territory, so it doesn't really matter right now if they mess this up. And it's going to be caught by Addison there. Actually, he drops it last second. Very big play there by the Jets DB. And officially, the biggest play of the game coming up for Mahomes. Can Mahomes and company grab the 1st down here? And can the Jets defense potentially hang on? Mahomes throws it down the middle of Addison's feet. Incomplete there. Tom Brady wins the Super Bowl, and we are officially tied 2-2 between them. Officially being the next one is going to be taking the win here over this challenge. And all of a sudden, we have an arms race between 2 of the best QBs in the league, and now we're just waiting for one of them to win their last Super Bowl and be crowned the greatest QB of all time. And who knows, maybe we could be seeing Mahomes and Brady face off against each other for the final Super Bowl, which would be a very intense game if that does happen. And we could be potentially getting the answers to that in Season 10 for both of these QBs, as they're very much looking to win their final Super Bowls here to wrap up the challenge. And while it would be a good year for both quarterbacks making into the postseason as some of the top seeds in their respective conferences, Tom Brady would be getting the 1 seed and ironically losing to the Patriots in the divisional round in a shocking turn of events. And for Mahomes, while he would be making it to the NFC Championship game, he would be immediately losing to Jackson Dart and the Giants, meaning both of their seasons are ending before getting to the big game. So yeah, season 10 didn't go too great whatsoever for any of these teams necessarily goal-wise, but coming into year 11, both of these QBs would be bouncing back in a very big way and making it all the way back to the conference championship once again. And so with both of these elite QBs in the championship weekend, only one of them would actually be making it to the Super Bowl, and that one would be Tom Brady, meaning Mahomes is going to be falling short here once again. And so all Brady has to do now is just take down the Panthers in the Super Bowl, and he will be officially crowned the greatest QB of all time, which may seem like a pretty simple task until you get into the game, and it would not be so easy. Because this one would be a shootout the whole entire game, with Tom Brady in the offense putting up points the whole time, and then the Panthers offense matching whatever they would do as well. And so it would be clear right away that the defenses won't be the biggest impact on this game right now, and it's going to come down to the two QBs on each side of the field deciding who's going to be the winner of this one. And so now we're officially past the 2-minute warning, and with Tom Brady having the ball at a tied game 27-27, he has a chance to take a lead and be very close to winning his third ring. Will Brady keep this momentum going after that play? He definitely needed that with some of the poor play he had early on. And an incomplete pass trying to hit his man down deep down the right sideline. That gets swatted down immediately. Brady again on 2nd and 10, trying to get the ball moving a little more. Moore has it, and he gets down to around the 50 there. It's going to be called the 48 there, and that's another new set of downs for them. Moore has definitely been very impactful on this Jets team. Brady throws it down to his side end. He's got it. That's actually not going to be a sideline. Don't know why I thought it was, but that's going to be another set of downs, and now they are officially in field goal range here after an amazing pass down to Bush. Here we go now, minute 30. Brady takes another shot down to his receiver there. It's going to be incomplete there. 2nd and 10 coming up. I have to say, Brady's been having some pretty poor passes here in this game. Hopefully that doesn't affect him the whole entire game. And he hits his running back there. He's grabbing a few yards there, and he's going down to the 6-yard line. The Jets might be in prime position to be able to close this game out with a touchdown. Very crazy to be seeing all of this all happening at once here. Brady hands it off to his back now with a wide open lane to run in. He scores. Touchdown New York. They are officially up in the Super Bowl, and Brady is just a minute 18 away from winning his third one here. Here come Jaden Wade and the Panthers here. 1st and 10 officially with a minute 13. They do have one timeout, but they do need to score a touchdown, so using that timeout early on would be very bad for them. Wade's going to scramble up, grab a first down there. Very big gain from him down to the 40 there. Very big pickup to start off the drive. They hurry up to the line here, trying to preserve that timeout until they absolutely have to. And an incomplete pass to his receiver broken up by the Jets DB there makes it 2nd and 10. Obviously out of Brady's control officially. He did his job. Now the Jets defense needs to keep doing their thing as they force that incompletion earlier. Wade down the middle again. Hits his guy, actually grabbing 8 yards there, makes it 3rd and 2 officially, and the Panthers have to use their timeout. Officially no more timeouts to go for the Panthers. They hand it off there, gets it across the 50. The running back fumbles it, but they do recover it at the 49. Don't know why they're reviewing that. There's no point, but okay. Wow, never mind. Guess the fumble makes it 4th and inches. I'm just gonna shut up. Apparently I don't know how to officiate games. Wade going for the deep shot. Dude, to end it? Are you serious? It's incomplete. I don't know why he just went for the deep shot out of all things, but Brady's winning his 3rd Super Bowl. I don't know why it had to end like that. And so just like that, Tom Brady's won his 3rd Super Bowl ring and crowned himself the greatest QB of all time, which arguably he already was entering this challenge. But he now officially has even more proof that he really is. Coming back down in a very tough situation just a few seasons ago to win this whole thing is very impressive. So Brady definitely showed in his new career that he can play on pretty much any team and make an immediate winning impact. But what would happen if you ended up reversing his whole entire career by starting off in Tampa Bay and ending it out in New England? Would he still become the greatest QB of all time at the end of it? Click the video on the screen to find out.